Okay. Yesterday we studied the structure and the parts of the heart. Okay. We must go to do um, a review on these parts because we need them again today. First of all, the heart is composed of four chambers, which are right atrium, left atrium, and then left ventricle, and right ventricle. So these are the four chambers of the heart. And then to the heart, there are many major veins and arteries or blood vessels that are connected to the heart. Here we have, this is called pulmonary artery, and try to remember this name because today we are going to use it. So here, this is the pulmonary artery, then this is the aorta, and then this is the not this this is the superior vena cava, and here this is the inferior vena cava, and back there we have four pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins, one, 2, and here we have one, sorry, I can remove, okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2 pulmonary veins that carry the blood from the lungs to the heart. Okay, and of course yesterday also we studied the valves. We have four valves. This is the number one, mitral valve, which is between the left atrium and the left ventricle, and then tricuspid valve. This is between the right atrium and the right ventricle, and then we have this valve which is called pulmonary valve, and then which is found, by the way, in the pulmonary artery, and then this is the last one, which is called aortic valve or semilunar valve, and this is found in the aorta. The aorta, this big artery or this big blood vessel. Okay, so if you see here in this picture, you can find that the blood vessels or the vessels where the blood move, they have two colors, maybe blue and red. What is the difference? The difference that the vessels here with the red color, any vessel with red color, this indicates to that in these vessels the blood that moves in this vessel has oxygen, or it is oxygenated blood, or we can call it blood rich in oxygen. Okay, so any red vessel, this means that the blood that is inside it, this blood is oxygen rich blood, or blood rich with oxygen. Okay, so the blue ones like this and this and so on, this means that the blood that moves inside them is poor in oxygen, or it doesn't have more oxygen, and it has more and more carbon dioxide. So here we have two types of blood vessels. Now we can see them in video. Okay, now okay,
Your heart.
Now here, if you can see that our heart, as we said before, it is a muscle, and this muscle is called myocardium. Myocardium. Myo related to muscles, and cardium in biology, cardio or cardium, this is related to the heart. So myocardium means the muscles of the heart. Okay, so unless our heart is a muscle, so it pumps the blood around our body, so it moves. As you can see here, it moves. Of course, it keeps moving. It keeps moving during our life, and it stops after death. So here, this is the network of the blood vessels, and as we just said that there are types of them with red color, there are types of them with blue color. Now listen to the video, and please, if you cannot listen, tell me. Okay, now the sound of the video will start.
Your heart and blood vessels comprise your cardiovascular system.
Can you hear the sound of the video? Shabab, I need one of you to confirm that.
No, Mr. We don't hear that.
You didn't hear it, okay. So I will talk, okay. So as you can see, this is the network of your blood vessels. If you can see here, this is with blue color, this is with red color, and the vessels with red colors are called arteries. Again, the vessels with red colors which carry the blood rich in oxygen, these vessels are called arteries. Okay, except one type of artery which carries an oxygen poor blood, but most of the red vessels here, they are called arteries because they carry blood rich in oxygen. Okay, what is the name of the blue ones? The blue ones that carry blood poor in or poor from oxygen and rich in carbon dioxide, these vessels are called veins. Veins. So now we have two types of vessels, arteries and veins. Arteries, labeled here with red color. Arteries, they carry blood rich in oxygen. And here we have another type, which is veins, which is labeled here, or which are labeled here by the blue color. So these veins carry the blood without oxygen, or with blood poor in oxygen, poor from oxygen, not without. Okay, so veins and arteries and veins. Okay, now here, what is this? If you can see here, this red part, we said that this is called artery, that carries the oxygenated blood or the oxygen-rich blood. And now this artery is a little bigger to go to the cells of our body, and each cell of our body needs the blood. So the blood, or the artery here, the blood vessel or the artery here, will branch into smaller and very smaller branches to reach to each cell, Okay, these branches are called blood capillaries. These branches are called blood capillaries. And if you can see here in this video, what happens? So this artery carries oxygenated blood or oxygen-rich blood, and then this artery will be branched into smaller branches to reach each cell of our body, and then it gives the cell oxygen that it has, and then the cell will remove the carbon dioxide that they don't need anymore, and then if you can see here that these branches will collect the red poor in oxygen and rich in carbon dioxide, and back there to the blue vessel here, which is called vein. Okay, here is some information that our heart beats about 100,000 beats per day. So for each year our heart can beat 35 million beats. Pay attention now, because this is our lesson today, which is called blood circulation, how the blood moves around our body. First of all, here you can see that these blue vessels carry the oxygen poor blood, which is blood poor of oxygen and has much carbon dioxide. And by the way, all of these veins here with blue color collected the blood from the cells that these cells use the oxygen and remove the carbon dioxide. So now these vessels with blue color collected the blood, which is poor in oxygen and rich in carbon dioxide, from the cells. And then where this blood goes now, this blood will go to the heart. Okay, so now here we have, if you can remember from the picture that we just show it, okay, here this is called superior vena cava and this is called inferior vena cava. These two veins are collected collect the blood and then send it to this is called the right atrium. Now we can see, yes, so now right atrium receives the non-oxygenated blood, or blood with a little amount of oxygen, or oxygen poor blood. So this is the right atrium, and then the right atrium will pump the blood to the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. See? Now the blood with a little amount of oxygen and with much carbon dioxide goes to the right ventricle. Okay, so now what happens? The heart will pump this blood. Now we can see where. Yes, so this is right atrium, right ventricle, and then what happens? Yes, see, the blood pumps. Sorry, the heart pumps the blood into pulmonary arteries. So now here we have a valve here between the right atrium and the right ventricle, and now the valve can work because the valve, it closes this part. So when the heart pumps the blood will not find any way to go, okay, except this way, pulmonary artery. Okay, here between the right atrium and the right ventricle, if there is no valve, what happens when the heart pumps? The blood can go anywhere, can go here, back here to the right atrium, some of the blood can go to the pulmonary artery, yes, in this way, but the valve is found here to close this part. So when the heart pumps, the only way that the blood will find to move is this way. So all blood here will move in this way, which is called pulmonary artery. And as we said yesterday, that pulmonary related to the lungs. So now this blood is going to go to the lungs. And here we have a note, a very important note, which is, we just said that the arteries, they carry oxygen-rich blood. Okay, we just said that the artery carries the oxygen-rich blood. Now here, this is called artery, pulmonary artery. Why this artery carries a poor oxygen blood? This is an exception. This is an exception. Okay, so here the pulmonary arteries are exception. Okay, because they carry oxygen poor blood. Okay, so now this blood will go to the lungs, as you can see here, and then of course we breathe air, and the lungs get oxygen from air. So now the lungs will give the oxygen to the blood, to this blood. So now if you can see here that inside the lungs the blood turns to be oxygenated, or turns to be oxygen rich blood, as you can see here, because the lungs give the blood oxygen. And then this oxygen rich blood, or when the blood gets oxygen, now the blood is collected and back, see, and back to the left atrium through what? Through pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins, which we saw it before. There are four pulmonary veins that collect the blood, which is rich in oxygen, from the lungs and to get it inside the heart. Why? I need an answer from any one of you. Why, after the blood gets oxygen from the lungs, why the blood must return back to the heart again? Why?